Hey there, Fearless Gamers. Welcome to the Fearless Games podcast, and today you'll have me, Matt the Clown, and I'm joined by...
James the Wildcard.
And Matt the Vet.
How you doing today, guys?
What's up?
My wrist is hurting a lot.
Any particular reason?
I am thinking that I might have fluid right where my thumb meets the wrist.
That's not good.
Yeah, I sprained my wrist back a couple of months ago.
So it's like
I might have some liquid from there. Yeah.
Gross. Well,
Yep.
I hope that gets better. My left wrist has been bothering me the last couple of weeks as well.
I'm sorry.
It's not like crippling. It's more annoying than anything else.
Okay.
I just have no idea what caused it. Like, I was sitting playing video games, Ni no Kuni at the time. And, like, my left wrist and hand kind of started to ache a little. I was like, okay. And then, like, that night, I tried, like, to go to bed, and that was when it was worst. Like, it just really hurt. And I had no idea what the hell was wrong with it. I was like, did I break this thing? How did that happen? And, well, honestly, like, that's something that my mom has brought up. She's like, maybe you have carpal tunnel. I'm like, Mom, I'm 28.
Yeah, but if you...
But repetitive motion can cause that.
It's my left wrist, so it's not the one I really use all that often.
Maybe you grabbed a very well lubricated doorknob, and so your wrist turned very frequently.
Wow.
Honestly, I have no idea. Every now and again, when I try to pick things up in a certain way or like put too much weight on it, I'll feel like a little pop in my hand. So I'm thinking maybe like I screwed up a joint or something. But it's also like the weather's been really weird, so like. Robin, maybe it might be weather related. So I'm waiting for the weather to like really even out before I get it looked at.
Hey, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
With Al Gore's weather machine that he used, so we'll listen to his crazy speeches.
Yes.
He is the wizard, isn't he?
He is.
He is.
That jerk.
You know, he's sick and tired of everyone not taking him seriously, so he built a weather machine to screw up the weather. What?
Speaking of freak natural occurrences, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but apparently 25,000 bumblebees were found dead in a Target parking lot in like Oregon this past week.
Hilarious! Wow!
Yeah, just dead. Just the corpses of 25,000 bees.
How many?
25,000 bees.
How many tire punctures did that cause?
Well, they were bumblebees. They don't have stingers.
Oh, okay, they were bumblebees.
Yeah, they're bumblebros.
Yep.
Well,
they're thinking it might have.
Elena pets them all the time.
They're suspecting. It's suspected that it was some kind of pesticide event. But all I know is that I would have gotten into that parking lot, seen the corpses of 25,000 bees, and probably like done a duty in my pants and driven away. Like. Because that's a lot.
That's a lot of bees.
It's too many.
My question is, why that parking lot?
Well, exactly. That's part of what they're looking into. Is like, wait. What?
That's well, if any Fearless Gamers from Oregon, let us know if you experienced that at all, because that'd be fantastic if you did.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting thing to see, just to get a first-hand experience about seeing all them bees in Target.
Maybe you got some photos you can share?
I thought, I wish something interesting like that would happen at my Target.
Then you'd have to clean them all up individually with...
No, because I'm not the cleaning crew.
Listen,
you're not.
All I know is even with the 25,000 bee sweep that you'd have to do, it's still better than working at like a Lowe's or a Home Depot in the bathroom section. Because I was reading last night that apparently it is an unfathomably common occurrence for people to make use of the display toilets.
Yeah, they need to see how they work.
But
like I figured it happens now and again, but apparently, according to Lowe's employees, it happens pretty much on the daily. And I'm like, whose job is it to clean that, and why haven't they quit?
Well, how do you know they haven't quit so often, and they just make sure they get people that don't watch the Twitter to replace them?
Right, but the thing is, like, eventually, you will have gone through the entire population of people who will take that job to begin with, and aren't already aware.
That would be kind of funny.
It's a horrible thing to say. But a lot of times I've noticed that some places. Oh, by the way, Starklord will be here in a minute.
Better.
I have noticed a lot of times some stores for maintenance people, like cleaning maintenance and such, will get handicapped people to perform their maintenance.
You mean mentally handicapped?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
sometimes they are
what?
handicapped. Like, one of our maintenance guys does have a arm problem. He can't use one of his arms.
Okay. I'm not going to say that's necessarily a bad thing for you to say, nor am I going to say it's a bad practice. In fact, it's good that people with handicaps are being employed.
Yes. Yeah. I just know that sometimes that kind of subject can be a little touchy.
The only thing
it depends on how you approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that makes it a worry is sometimes they don't pay them. They don't pay them the.
Yeah, that would be the concern. That would be the concern. Yeah. As long as
they're being, let them work.
As long as they're being paid, as long as they're being compensated as normal and not treated poorly because of it. Like, as long as there's not one guy with who's mentally handicapped on the team who they constantly go, yeah, just put him on the doo-doo toilet. Like, as long as that's not his sole job, because screw it, he's mentally handicapped. And as long as he's paid properly, then whatever, it's cool. I want people who are, potentially less capable in certain ways to be capable of living normal lives.
What's going on?
The worst? Hello, Starklord.
I knew it.
716 for that bleep out?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was writing cover letters and job application stuff.
I don't want to hear excuses.
You don't
oh my
need
God.
a job, Starklord.
Yo, James,
you have a job
hold on. You're not on your phone.
No, not right now.
You sound so clear and normal.
Yeah, that means you're in for it.
Okay, so now they distracted everyone. What are we talking about?
Doo-doo toilets.
Yeah.
I heard that part.
Yeah,
we started
the subject of the 25,000 bees that were found dead in Oregon in a Target parking lot.
There's 25,000 bees dead in an Oregon parking lot?
Yeah, Target found a Target parking lot in Oregon with 25,000 bee corpses. They don't know why.
Where's Peter Parker?
No, where's the Swarm?
Oh no, he's dead now. We need to fight Spider-Man because that's his villain.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, right.
That's true. But then we got on to people using display toilets at Lowe's and Home Depot. And
why?
Who has to clean that?
They do it because they gotta go.
Wait, were you asking why we got onto the subject, or why people use display toilets?
Both.
Where will you be when diarrhea strikes?
That's a good point. Way back in the day when unfortunately we worked at a Kohl's, I do remember an angry and drunk, what do you call customers? Customer? Yeah, there we go.
Well, at Target, they're guests.
Yeah, there we go. I haven't worked in retail in years, and I never want to again. I remember
everyone calls them
using the parking lot as a bathroom.
Yeah, parking lot is more acceptable.
Yeah.
It's more acceptable toilet.
The display toilet in the building that's not hooked up to piping.
Right.
Well, my uncle actually once, when he bought, I think it was from Home Depot, a toilet, he opened the box to discover that the toilet was used.
That's disgusting.
There was, I don't remember the name of the comedian. I think he's one of the guys on Community, though.
Okay.
And I watched this bit last night, and he was talking about how when he was a kid, his brother, and this other kid were dragged to Home Depot at one point. And so to have fun, they started making fake doo-doo in the toilets. They would go and they'd make a face, and they'd be like, "Oh, I had a lot of fruit," and walk away. Because little kids are silly like that. But apparently the other kid that they brought with them pulled his pants down, like, actually did it. And so he and his brother are, like, freaking out because they're like, we're gonna get in so much trouble. And his brother was apparently like, I think, okay, I'm gonna try and flush it. And just that idea, I was like, I couldn't stop laughing. It was good.
That's when you say bravo.
On a side note, speaking of Community, which first off is a great show.
I've only seen one episode, and it was the Dungeons and Dragons episode, which is the only episode I want to see.
Yeah, I've been marathoning it recently because I like the show and actually had a little bit of time to watch it. But the weird thing is I've been getting commercials for community colleges during the commercial breaks on Hulu, and it's kind of freaking me out.
Well, yeah, they're tailoring it towards your watching experience.
I've been mainly marathoning Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I plan on doing that with Enterprise and TNG later.
And I'm sorry, Stark-Lord, but I still do not see Picard being more awesome than Kirk.
I'm not saying Picard's more awesome, I'm saying Picard is a better captain.
I don't know. Picard would be more willing to send his crew to get space crabs than take on the space crabs himself.
He's delegating power. I've already been over this. He's being a proper leader in space on a ship.
He's a man willing to accept that he might not be capable of taking on the space crabs by himself.
Yeah.
Sometimes, maybe he's allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, did you see the space crabs from Lost in Space? I don't want to go by those by myself. I don't even think Kirk could take those on.
I remember those space crabs.
They were space spiders. I know someone's going to correct us, but I don't care.
Yeah, well, they're spiders that look kind of like crabs.
I don't know.
They had, like, the crab top.
They had, like... I don't even know how many legs they had, because their legs split.
They only had, like, 4.
Yeah,
because Dr. Smith only had 4.
No, he was weird, but if you looked at them, like, they had, like, a femur, and then instead of having a tibia and a fibula, it split into 2 separate tibia-fibula groups, so each leg was 2 legs. It made no sense.
Right, well...
It was very odd.
It was cool. They ate through metal. People should watch that movie. It's
and they eat their young.
You need to have
I'm surprised that
dose of iron.
I'm surprised that population of spiders didn't, like, kill itself out after each one, like, accidentally cut themselves.
Well, they don't...
Since, like, a scratch was the only thing they needed to kill each other.
Yeah, like, they ate their own wounded, which...
Okay. Eating, like... When they first did it, one of them, like, lost half of its body, and they started eating it. Okay, that makes more sense. He's no longer useful to the colony. Dr. Smith got a slight scratch on his cheek, and they're like, well, now you're useless to us.
No, now he's nom-nom.
Well, you know, that slight scratch clearly was super infected. We just didn't know that.
Right.
Speaking of, just random stuff, I've got some news for all the fearless gamers out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're pregnant.
I knew it.
Yes.
I knew it.
I am pregnant with the War Machine Contest giveaway prize we're giving away on July 10th.
Wow, I don't know if anybody wants it anymore.
I don't know where it's been.
I pre-ordered our Warcaster that we'll be giving away.
Which one did you decide? I don't even know what...
It's the Clockwork Angel, because the other one was a really big Hammer Dude.
Yeah, Hammer Dude's okay, but the Clockwork Angel girl,
she's pretty.
Not only is she a pretty model, but the character is cool, has good abilities. She's like the main character in the book they came out with, and it was actually a good read.
She actually is the main reason I might pick up Convergence of Cyrus.
I'll stab you. Actually, it's good because you're doing a Nemo-themed Signar, right? She hates Nemo at this point. I don't want to ruin the book for anyone, but like they meet, and that's like her nemesis at this point.
Good. Bring me a sandwich.
Exactly. Like she's going to kill him. Like that's her goal at this point.
So we do have the official prize out there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link in the description to the contest. You can check that out if you have not already entered. It is worth it.
I forgot her name. I remember her title. She's like the Newman of Aerogenesis.
Yes.
She invented how to fly apparently in that universe with technology.
Yeah.
With technology, yes, because, I mean, Lich Lord Termerus was the first one to do it.
Yeah, like, she invented true flight with, anti-grav stuff. The wings are for show, by the way.
Yes. Because she needs to look angelic.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're bladed, probably.
What else can you do with wings that you don't need?
Well, she does get an ability because of those wings.
Yeah.
I forget what it is, but she does get some special ability.
She does flyby hits, I think.
We actually do have a question off of the Fearless Games Facebook page.
Oh, that's good. What's the question?
Yeah, I actually just spotted it.
I have no idea how would you pronounce his name, Matt?
Mark Hugel?
Okay, so
that's my best guess.
How do you spell it?
Hugill.
Hugi.
I'm going with Hugel.
I'm going with Hugel.
Yeah.
If we mispronounce your name, we apologize.
We don't pronounce things correctly. That's our thing.
But Mark asked, does Matt still have his skull thrown? I missed the disembodied head report.
Dismembered.
Dismembered.
Yeah. Do they know why you even have that? That's an important story.
Okay. So for anyone who hasn't checked out my old channel, which I haven't touched in months, I used to do a lot of my blogging videos in a chair which had skulls on the armrests. That was a prop from when me and the Stark Lord did a cosplay skit at KatsuCon, I believe it was 16.
It was 16. I remember that because it's the one I made too, and it was a good one.
Yes. And it was a Captain Harlock skit, and Captain Harlock has a skull-thrown chair. And so I built one for the skit. And I kept it for a while because I thought it was awesome. Unfortunately, I do not have it anymore. It started falling apart, and I was running out of room to keep it, so unfortunately I had to get rid of it. But I still have parts of the prop so I can rebuild it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we ever find ourselves with, like a Fearless Games office space or production space, we should just rebuild it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Better, faster.
A better one, because that one was a cool one that you designed to come apart so we could transport it. We wouldn't need to do that at that point.
Yeah, though, once I have space again, I will be building the Skull Throne again.
Yeah, but if people are interested, KatsuCon 16, we totally won for the, what level were we?
We won 2 awards.
We won 2 awards for that silly thing.
We won we won a Judges Award, and we won Best Overall Skip Performance in the Novice Division.
Yeah. And if you look it up, you can see all the costumes, which Matt pretty much made all of them, except for one. And it was a pretty good job. And yeah.
I did do Stans.
You also didn't, you helped Robin, but I don't think you did Robin. Didn't you do?
I did Robin.
You did? Okay. I thought you did your own.
No.
Okay, then I take it back. You pretty much did all the costumes.
Yeah.
Yours was the easiest.
Mine was a sack.
Yep, and a very poorly made hat, because I never built hats until that point. That was my first hat.
It wasn't a bad hat. Oh my god, I found the YouTube video, like, immediately.
Of course.
That's kind of funny. But on a random note, I've had this with me for a little bit, but I forgot to mention it last podcast. I found my MechForce MechWarrior service number dog tag from back in the 90s.
Wow. What was your dog tag number?
3091.
Nice.
So, and it has a barcode that I don't think is a real barcode. It probably wouldn't scan ever. But if it did, that'd be awesome. I never tried. But yeah, I was like, I found it, and I forgot because I was looking for it on the neck, on like its chain. But that chain broke. It was an old, cruddy chain. So I found the actual dog tag. It's just funny because it's got an atlas pictured on it. It says MechForce on the top, and it says MechWarrior service number, a barcode underneath it, stamped 3091. It's dog tag style, so it's just like, wow, there we go. So yeah, that took me back. Like, I remember when I got this and I did stuff with MechWarrior.
Here's a question for you guys. Have any of you seen Man of Steel yet?
I haven't.
Yes.
Actually, a friend of mine...
It was okay.
Yeah, a friend of mine texted me actually saying, it was pretty good. I will see it again with you if you see it in 3D. That was...
I didn't...
So apparently
Robin and I saw it... Robin and I saw it opening night, like at midnight. I will say that was somewhat of a mistake because I had work the next morning. But,
you was...
No, dude, I didn't get home till like 4 in the morning. I had work at 9.
I want to point this out to you, because now you get to experience it. Every time we saw a midnight showing back in the day, I had work the next day at 7 a.m. I got less than an hour's sleep every night, and I always made it. Never
because you're a moron.
Just saying. No, because I'm awesome.
Hey, Stark Lord, he is allowed to complain.
No, he's not.
I'm older than you were at the time.
No excuse.
Age is absolutely an excuse.
Yeah.
Ageist.
It's not nothing. Age is more than just a number, okay? It's also an excuse to think.
It's true, but in any case, it if it were a better movie, I don't feel I would have felt it was a mistake. It wasn't a bad movie. I don't want to give the impression that I thought it was bad. But I'm not going to pay to see it again. Because I don't think it was that good.
And now, just thinking on Fearless Gamers, that's pretty interesting that he says that it's not a bad movie, because Matt isn't a big Superman fan.
I can't stand Superman.
I can't
my least favorite. He's my least favorite superhero of all time.
I heard some, I basically, because, to be honest, unless Elena here says I want to go see Man of Steel, I'm not seeing it.
It was better than Superman Returns in every way.
Oh, and I've heard it's also better than Superman 3 and 4. But
that's not hard to do. Be better than those two movies.
But I heard about it, and some of the things that they did, I was like, wait, what?
Well, like what?
Like how his powers work, like how he gets them.
Well, let's not go into it for people who haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
I'm not to spoil anything, but I'm not sure what the hell you were reading, because it's exactly the same. They just go into they have a couple of lines of dialogue that try to make a bit more science of it, but it's not like his powers don't come from a new source or anything. It's still, because you're on Earth instead of
the yellow sun. Okay.
Right, so I'm not really sure what you read.
I just left what the guy told me.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at that in a minute. No, you were told something incomplete.
Okay.
They have a longer explanation about it, but it's still, they didn't change anything.
Okay.
What bothered me was certain things just went on too long, and the movie could have been about a half hour shorter than it was. Those are my two major complaints, and until I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so I can't really discuss the one plot hole that I spotted, and the thing that I felt dragged on the most. But I will say, if you like Superman, you'll probably like it. If you don't like Superman, catch a matinee, because it's not something I regret seeing. But it was certainly better than I was expecting, but I don't plan on seeing it again.
Okay.
Okay.
The one thing I will say, even though I haven't seen it, is that the reason so many people hate Superman, I don't think it's Superman's fault. I actually think Superman's a good character. I think he's
writer's fault.
Always, yeah, exactly. That's what I would say. His writers are terrible. People don't know how to write them, and I think.
Well, actually, I don't like Superman for Superman with the whole power set and what he's supposed to. Like when you look at when you take Superman, you do a list of what he's got, what he represents, and what he is, like at his core. I don't like that. The writing just makes it worse for me.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with the writing is that his powers dramatically change to fit his convenience.
That's bad writing. That's just bad writing. That's why I'm saying what I hate the most about his writing.
I just don't like Superman as a character, and his writing just makes it even worse. Even when he's written well, I don't like him. I don't like Superman.
That's fair. You're allowed to feel that way.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
but
we're not trying to like him if they actually wrote him well. One thing I hate.
That's how I feel about Batman. To be perfectly honest.
Well, you hate Batman fans.
It's
I think Batman
to the point where I don't think he's a good character anymore.
I think Batman's biggest problem is everyone puts him on such a high pedestal.
Yeah.
He can't beat Superman in a fight. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, even he has said he can't.
Yeah.
That's why he's
done it once, and it was such an extenuating circumstance that it doesn't count.
Yeah.
And I hate the whole back prep time that only he's allowed to have while his opponent just sits there waiting for Batman to execute this perfect plan that he's prepped.
The number of arguments I've gotten into with Batman fans over who would win between him and Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
Absolutely, any day of the week.
Whoa, stop. Him and Iron Man, because it was Batman who is Bruce Wayne versus Tony Stark. Tony Stark's going down hard to Bruce Wayne. But when you give him the
Iron Man 3?
Tony Stark is always Iron Man.
No, he's talking about if you take Tony Stark out of the Iron Man suit, you're referring to Tony Stark, but you're talking about Iron Man.
And I'm saying that if you've seen Iron Man 3, you know that he doesn't need the suit.
Yeah. I've seen Iron Man 3. I'm saying if you go into a fisticuffs fight, he's going down because he doesn't know how to fight.
Yeah, but Tony's not going to go into a fisticuffs fight. Tony's
talking about a fight, and I think if
Tony will find a way out of that.
I think you take away both of their toys, it wouldn't be as one-sided as people make it out, but I think Bruce Wayne would have the upper hand. Now, if you go on Batman versus Iron Man, it's not even a fight for him. He could be asleep and he'd take him out.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man versus Captain America. That was painful for Cap.
That was a good fight.
It was a good fight, but like Cap
won that fight.
That was the whole point.
Cap was about to win that fight.
He had no chance.
Did you not read Civil War?
I don't remember how it ended. I just remember him getting like pwned right off.
25 minutes.
Cap was about to just. I'm not sure if he was going to decapitate Tony in this situation, but Cap was about to win that fight, and then he quit when like a bunch of like I think he got dragged off of Tony by a bunch of like service workers, like firefighters and stuff.
I don't remember.
But it ended with Cap about to win that fight, and then Cap gave up.
Because Cap is the man, and nothing needs to be said.
He's American.
He's more than American. He's the American dream. It's better than that.
That's a fight that's one-sided. Cap versus Batman. Cap wins that fight any day of the week.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
right.
Cap. I mean, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't beat Super Soldier in a fisticuffs. You can't.
It's like George W. Bush said. You can't fool me twice. Can't happen. You can't do that to Cap. You can't fool him.
You can't make any sense at all.
I know. Exactly.
But you're an idiot. But the point is that Super Soldier, because he's not just Super Soldier strong, he's got all that training and intelligence. You can't beat that, even if you're peak human physical, which I talked about in a previous podcast, and always bothered me.
Yeah, let's also not forget that Cap is the only man that I've seen that's able to turn a shield into a frisbee that can ricochet.
Yeah.
Well, that's more about the shield than Cap.
Yes, but I don't think they designed the shield to do that.
It's more what the shield is made out of.
Yeah, but
it's made out of vibranium, which gives it like weird properties.
He is so capable of being accurate and having it come back and catching it. Like if you just give it to somebody else, they may take their own head off.
That's why he's as accurate with it as he is, because he's Cap.
The only other.
It's capable of bouncing around like that.
The only character I can think of that could possibly do that is Cyclops, but I don't think he has the physical strength.
What about Bullseye?
Bullseye, I think, has done it.
Bullseye has done it, and Taskmaster has done it. But
Taskmaster's ability is to
he just copies Cap.
Yep.
I think Spider-Man's done it too.
Has he?
Yeah.
Well, he's got the super strength of a spider.
He's got the strength to throw it, and he's also got the understanding of physics.
And he's got spider sense.
Yeah, so I think
so he'll know when to duck.
Whatever that is, if any fearless gamer can tell us what spider sense is supposed to mean,
it must be a danger sense.
Yeah. I know, but still, it's just like I want to.
Did you not watch the first Spider-Man movie?
I did, but it doesn't.
They totally explained it.
No, they
yes, they did. Someone goes in and says, "Here's a spider who has spider sense." That's where it comes from. A spider.
Thanks.
It's a chemical sense thing. In the comics, it's explained as like a pheromone thing.
Really?
At least once, it's explained. Well, not so much a pheromone, but like a chemical.
How does that work?
He senses the chemical of hostility or something. But really, it's more along the lines of just his. I think just his senses in general are enhanced.
Yeah, it's probably.
And they come together into a
neurokinetics.
Yeah, it's something like that.
There are spiders.
It's like how a fly. It's really hard to catch a fly.
Yeah, there's a couple of spiders out there in the wolf spider varieties or species groups that have better designed nervous systems where the neurokinetics is like 5 times faster than it should be. So they have the brain power of something much bigger than they should. So like he thinks literally faster. So I assume he notices slight things with his enhanced senses and is able to respond to it quickly. That's my theory.
It's just heightened.
Probably a combination of those.
Yeah.
The only reason I say it's got something to do with chemicals is because Daken was able to mess with Spider-Man's danger sense or Spidey sense with his weird pheromone power.
Oh, his pheromone power, yeah. I remember how he used it on Bullseye.
Yeah, it was great. Oh God. Can I just say Daken is one of the most underappreciated Marvel characters of all time?
I think he's dead right now, isn't he?
He's Wolverine's son.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, he's great.
What does he do?
His power set is he's got like, you know how Wolverine has the 3 claws that come out of the top of his hand?
Yeah.
Okay, he's got 2 that come out of the top and then like 1 that comes out of the bottom, like an Assassin's Creed Dew claw.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And he's got his healing factor isn't as good as Wolverine's. In fact, it's like a real dime store version of it. But as a result, he also got some kind of power to like manipulate pheromones so that people will be like, more like like people either be more attracted to him and give him more leeway, or they'll get like really mad at him because that's how pheromones kind of work.
He messes with you on like a primal level,
and he uses it to such a good effect. He did it to Bullseye over such an extended period of time. Like he just did it really subtly to Bullseye, making Bullseye like attracted to him.
Yeah, but being also like a dick to him constantly.
Right,
like, I hate this guy, but why do I like him?
So it's like, why don't I hate this guy? Why do I kind of have a thing for this guy? Bullseye's like whole world was being shaken by this.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not only was he questioning like his sexuality at the time because of this, but like he's attracted to a guy who's treating him like garbage all the time. Mm-hmm. And eventually Bullseye just snaps. It was great.
And that was his entire plan. It's funny because like back in the day when they're doing like extra Wolverine-based characters, I'm like, I wish they made like a Wolverine but like smarter and like use more of the primal stuff, and I don't know, just like was more tactical. And then they made Doc, and I didn't realize at first. No, that's exactly who this is.
Now, granted, Dawkins' design is awful.
Yeah, he looks kind of dumb.
He looks like a hipster Wolverine with a mohawk.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, he looks pretty bad.
Let's take a look at this.
Now,
yeah. What were you going to say, Jim?
Speaking of Wolverine and whatnot, we know he has a movie coming out. What exactly is, because I don't know the specifics, but do you know the specifics of the whole shtick of the Silver Samurai?
You know, I don't know how it's going to be in the movie, but I think it's just like a title that's passed down.
Because I know he can generate like a tachyon field.
Yeah, which just allows him to cut through stuff.
I think that's something to do with the armor, but I don't know if it's magic or science. I've never really read too much up on the Silver Samurai, but I do know that it's like a family thing.
Yeah, all I gotta say is that a tachyon field, generating tachyon in general is kind of hardcore, because tachyon is ridiculous.
Silver Samurai's no joke.
Yeah, it's just that I never understood what his shtick was, because his suit looked like it was semi-powered.
Okay, the first Silver Samurai is a mutant with the ability to create a tachyon field, with which he can surround anything. He commonly uses his power on his sword, enabling it to cut through nearly anything except adamantium, because adamantium is like the win button.
Yeah, so basically it makes him able to fight, Wolverine on a certain level.
When working with the Viper, he possesses a teleportation ring, which allows him to teleport from one location to another, granting him great mobility and stealth. As a self-styled samurai, he is the master of kenjutsu, katanas, and martial arts masters specializing in edge weapons, hand-to-hand combat, and tactics. He usually wears, the second Silver Samurai possesses a technologically advanced suit of armor, which grants him the ability of flight and protection from many conventional attacks, in addition to carrying two katana blades. And Shingen possesses a number of armaments and gadgets, such as an energy cannon built into the right wrist of the suit.
Like all samurais had.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, totally.
The second version was just a super suit like Iron Man. The original was a mutant who can make tachyon.
And I think the movie's going with the super suit.
I don't know. I think
I was wrong in every way.
I think the movie's going with the combination based on the trailers I've seen. All I know is that he looks really cool.
Yeah, based on the trailer, it's absolutely that old guy.
It's gotta be.
It's absolutely that old guy in there.
It's gotta be. But it's just
I will say it looks a lot better than Wolverine Origin.
Yes, it does.
It looks better than a lot of the Wolverine movies. You know, X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, Wolverine.
I will not say it looks better than X-Men or X-Men 2.
X-Men and X-Men 2 were good movies.
Okay, yeah, I will recant that. Only X-Men 3 was bad.
X-Men 3 was a bad.
Yeah, X-Men 3 was god-awful. I mean, I get the joke you were trying to make is that the X-Men trilogy was really Wolverine movies.
Yeah.
But you gotta be accurate if you're gonna make that joke.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. That is an awesome...
Well, it certainly doesn't look...
Sorry, I'm looking at the samurai from the movie. That thing looks awesome.
It certainly doesn't look better than X-Men First Class, though.
No.
X-Men First Class was solid.
That was a good movie.
That was a pretty good movie.
That was a very well-done X-Men movie. Anybody who's interested in X-Men at all should have watched that. If you haven't, go watch it.
If they keep making X-Men movies in that vein, then I'm okay with Marvel not getting the X-Men
well, they are doing Age of Apocalypse, aren't they?
No idea. No, they're doing... It's not Age of Apocalypse. It's, oh, God.
Days of the Future Past?
Dinklage. Yeah, I think it's Days of the Future Past.
All I know is they're just taking X-Men First Class and some of the people from the other X-Men movie and throwing them into a time-confusing movie.
We're about to find out. It's Days of Future Past, and Peter Dinklage is going to be in it, and that's how you know it's going to be at least decent, because Peter Dinklage is...
Who's going to play? Is he Puck?
We don't know. Well, we do, but I don't know the character's name. It's not Puck. I know it's not Puck. Hold on. I'm going to Google this again.
I just posted a picture of Silver Samurai from the...
Yeah, I was
Who's Bolivar Trask? Because that's who he plays.
That's the dude. Isn't he the guy that does the Sentinels?
I don't know. I'm just gonna Google that name. I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna do it.
I just did
Bolivar Trask.
I'm pretty sure he's the Sentinel dude. Yeah, he created Sentinels.
Oh, it's that guy.
I'm down with that. Could be evil.
He made like Master Mold. Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy that made the Sentinels. It's awesome.
Okay, that's cool that it's Dinklage. I like Dinklage.
For what film is this?
The new X-Men movie, Days of Future Past.
Oh, I did not see a trailer or anything about this one.
No, there's no trailer up.
I haven't heard anything about this.
The only reason
this is
I'm
the
not
first time
aware
I'm
of it
hearing
is
it.
Peter Dinklage is a great actor, and I follow his Facebook.
Ah,
You stalker. No.
He really is.
But, that's cool. And I'm just surfing the webs, and it turns out MechWarrior Online just put another heavy mech up into their mech pool called QuickDraw, who has been around. So just added another mech into their big pool of mechs, so they got a lot of mechs to choose from now.
Does it have the ability to holster its weapons and then quickly draw them?
No, but it shoots fast.
Good enough.
Then it should have been quick shot.
It's quick draw, though, because he gets a draw on you when he torso twists, so he can get you in his sights. That's the equivalent of drawing your weaponry, when you get them in your sights with a battle mech. So...
Oh man, they're gonna have Warpath in the movie. Sorry, I'm still looking at Days of Future Past.
They're gonna have a lot of
Warpath.
Yeah.
I don't know these guys. I don't follow Marvel unless Dr. Doom's around.
You need to read Giant-Sized X-Men. Just read it. Anything Chris Claremont did was great. I mean, cheesy.
Marvel is good. I like Marvel. I haven't read comics in ages, though. I'm so sad.
I read them on my iPad now because I'm a hipster.
I just don't. I don't feel like spending the money at this point.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Well, I'm thinking of getting rid of stopping Green Lantern now because Jeff
Johns isn't on anymore.
Jeff Johns has stopped doing it.
Uh-oh.
And well, the thing is the way they ended it. It ended on such a note where it's clearly one of those statements like, without giving anything away, it's that classic, and then we never saw him again, so you're like, so this means we're going to see him again once sales drop, right?
Yeah.
Type of situation. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking I should probably just stop while it was good and not wait for it to go bad.
I will say, Jeff Johns is a really pretty solid comic book writer that gets stuck with, like, a lot of mandates and things he has to work around.
He gets screwed by the editorial team a lot.
Yeah.
I
love his work on JSA. If people can read that, they should, because he had, like, no one telling him what to do, and it was cool.
I think DC's biggest problem is the editorial team. Their editorial team makes some really questionable decisions and gets way too involved in the actual writing process. Now, that's not to say Marvel hasn't done the same thing. Marvel has made that mistake. Let's not talk about One More Day. But DC does it all the time, and then they make all these mistakes, and then we get like 3 crises back to back to hit the reset button. And it's like, then they hire really awful writers every now and again. Like, I'm thinking about, what's his name? Bald British guy writes really awful stories.
There's a lot of those.
Loeb's not British.
No, Loeb is more of a Marvel guy. Hold on.
Oh, he is now, but he's written Batman for, like, forever. Or has been asked to write Batman.
Like Batman Forever?
No, not like Batman Forever.
Hold on.
You set yourself up for
Grant
that.
Morrison. I'm thinking about Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison can be good.
I'll punch you.
He can.
What has he written?
Nothing good.
Hold on.
Just like 1 or 2 titles. What did he write?
He's written a number of. He's written for Superman. I think he's written for Batman. Like, he's written a lot of major titles.
He
and
did
all of this stuff
All-Star Superman, which was not good.
The problem is he's crazy. Like, he's
but
legitimately out of
Miller crazy?
Like, legitimately believes that there are lizard people, aliens on Earth that are, like, Illuminati-ing things.
So beyond Frank Miller crazy.
Well beyond.
Okay, because Frank Miller's not.
He's Alan Moore crazy without the charm.
Okay.
Let's see what he's done at DC.
And,
He wrote
like,
Superman
he does
Alan.
a lot of drugs.
Did some Batman stuff.
And, like, he likes to claim that he writes stories about stories, and that's the problem, is he gets really meta and keeps trying to be deep, and it's like, dude, I just want to read about capes beating up other capes. Like...
How do you write stories about stories?
You got me.
Just you telling a story about a story?
Yes. It's really hard to explain, but it gets really meta and, like, self-referential, and...
I really hate when, like, just feel-good stuff, like comic books and things, you just read for the enjoyment. I hate when things get meta. That shouldn't be, ever. It's like, stop.
It can get meta now and again, but you need the right character, like...
Deadpool.
And it's got to be done well, even Deadpool needs to be done in moderation. Like,
yeah.
He got a little too out there for a while.
If you want Superman to get meta, throw in a little Mixius-Pitalik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a dash of meta and just going, this is so meta.
Just speaking of, is it just me or did Gilbert Godfrey play that character right?
He did.
Played it right.
So did Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel did a pretty good job, too.
When did he play him? Was that on Lois and Clark?
Lois and Clark? Yep.
Yes, that was it. That was Harry
Mandel.
Mandel?
That was the Christmas episode.
Oh my god, that was Harry Mandel. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
That was a good episode.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Those are probably the only two times I thought it was good.
But he gets credit for it. You know, Howie Mandel has really bad ADD. Not ADD, OCD.
Yes, we know. That's why he doesn't like touching people. It's also germophobia.
Yeah.
It's up there. What's really cool about, people don't appreciate Lois and Clark enough. That was actually a decent show.
It's true. That was a good show.
Surprisingly,
no one remembers it.
That show was the reason why in the comics they killed Superman.
I think that show came out after he died.
Well, no. What had happened was because I was just I was reading this whole thing because they did that movie Superman Doomsday. They had the guys that did the whole the Death of Superman arc. And they were saying how that year, what they used to do is they used to compile all the Superman comic writers together and they'd collaborate on a whole overarching story to hit an end goal. And their end goal for that year was to have Lois marry Superman. But then the DC guys came in and went, yeah, about that. The guys doing Lois and Clark want to marry Lois and Superman, so we're gonna give it to them, you guys can't do it. So they're sitting in the room at the last minute trying to think of what to do, and there was this one guy who every time they couldn't think of something to do, he would just say, well, let's just kill him. And then they'd go, okay, just go back in your corner, have a cookie, and we'll let the big boys actually figure out what we're gonna do. And so they're sitting there going, crap, we can't get him married, what can we do now? And he finally does this little, well, let's just kill him. And they went, yeah, you know what, let's just kill him.
I find that really funny.
Yeah, I think I've heard this story before, and that's pretty good.
Because, if you look at it now, whenever a movie comes out for a comic book, a lot of the time the comic starts reflecting the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they start doing the same things. Like, it really bothered me when Spider-Man 3 came out, and suddenly, for basically no reason, Spider-Man in the comics started wearing the black suit again.
Yeah.
It was clearly let's try and market to the people who want to see the movie. A similar thing happened with X-Men. When the first X-Men movie came out, that was around when Ultimate X-Men was released.
Came out.
And they were wearing the movie suits. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the X-Men movie suits, but the Ultimate X-Men suits were literally the same design as the movie suits. So that was clearly meant to be like some kind of a parallel. Do I disagree with that? No, because it's a different universe. But eventually, in the main Marvel universe, it started changing that way when the movies started coming out.
Yeah, then they had some really stupid costumes for a while. Remember the puppy jackets?
I'll punch you.
I do have a question about characters in movies and all that stuff.
Okay.
Samuel Jackson plays Nick Fury in the movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they started doing the films, was that when they started drawing Nick Fury to look like Sam Jackson?
They started that in Ultimate beforehand.
Was in Ultimate looking like Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
That was almost for like a decade.
So that was around way before the whole movie thing started.
However,
Ultimate artists liked drawing like famous people as random characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
however, I will say that it is an issue now, though, because since the Avengers films have seen such popularity, Nick Fury, in like the regular white guy Nick Fury in basic Marvel Universe, he died like a while ago, and now I'm getting this secondhand because I haven't read comics in a while, but I'm getting it from my buddy Mike, who's still reading comics.
Nick Fury stuff's really confusing right now in the comics.
Ultimate Nick Fury apparently crossed over into basic Marvel Universe.
That did
and had a kid, and apparently had like a son, and that son, who apparently just lost an eye, is gearing up to become the new Nick Fury. So basically, they're transplanting Ultimate Nick Fury into regular comic universe because of how popular the Avengers movies are.
Yeah.
Okay, because for the longest time when I heard, I was like, oh, Sam Jackson's Nick Fury, and everyone says, oh, it was eventually going to happen because he looked just like it in the comics. So like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
so you mean
like
to tell me... Yeah. For a while, I thought it was the artist trying to convince the movie guys to cast him as Nick Fury. Now I know the better story of how.
Yeah, when they did it in Ultimate, people were clamoring for it for years.
Yeah. What's funny is Ultimate Nick Fury in the first 2 issues he is in does not look like that at all. But like they quickly just go right into like, yeah, he's gonna look like this now. Just
That's all that matters.
I mean, he's still black. And bald. Like he's still like, and you don't really get a clear look at him in the first 2 issues. So it's not really that big of a deal.
The first issue
you make it seem like they drew regular Nick Fury, and then.
The first issue he's in, he.
You're gonna have to show me that. You're gonna have to show me that.
It's not like a Nick Fury issue. It's like something else, and it's like Nick Fury, but I think he just pulls the mask off or something. They just go with it. But he doesn't look like Sam Jackson at all. He looks a lot more like traditional.
I don't remember that.
I'll see if I can find a picture.
You're gonna have to show me that.
So
No. He was wearing. No, I remember what you're talking about. The mask he pulled off was traditional Nick Fury, and underneath he was Black Nick Fury.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah. That I remember that because I remember going, wait a minute, what? Like I remember being shocked. He was like, and it was a joke because the mask he was wearing was classic
Nick Fury.
Hasselhoff Nick Fury.
I'll take that. Oh, Hasselhoff Nick Fury. Did you guys see that movie?
No. Here's a question for you guys. A gaming-related question. As some of you probably have heard, Apocalypse pre-orders will be starting this Saturday.
That is the most accepted theory, yes.
Is anybody excited for it?
Nope.
We never really do Apocalypse. I mean,
well, maybe we should fix that.
No.
No one has a big enough army except for you.
Well, if you guys combo your army, it can be as big as mine to do it.
I don't know. I mean, Apocalypse is cool if you got the big force for it, and they do make really cool, fun games. But at the same time, I don't have the time for it right now.
Apocalypse is awesome. I think it's great. The biggest problem for Apocalypse is it's not even army size, really, because that can be fluffed up pretty easily. It's having the approach. Because for me, if you're gonna do Apocalypse, you need to have the terrain. You gotta do it right. I don't mean studio level terrain, but you
just need a lot of terrain.
You need a lot of terrain and a lot of space for it. That you have you pretty much have a whole day to commit to it, and you just can't do that at a gaming store unless they run the event. And it's just really difficult to get it set up at somebody's place because you usually don't have the space, you don't have a table big enough for it.
Yeah, so, you need more than one table to run a decent Apocalypse game.
Yeah,
you do it on the floor.
Yeah, you do it on the floor. The trick with Apocalypse is you need a space big enough where your super mechs aren't able to sit on the very far end of the deployment zone and still hit everything.
Yeah, you gotta let them move. You gotta actually have those things move, which is difficult because they got a range of like a mile, basically. I am excited for this new Apocalypse thing, if it is Apocalypse. Which I'm thinking it is, based on the way they hyped it a bit. I'm excited to see what changes they're going to have for it to be up with 6th edition. And I'm also excited to see what maybe new data sheets they'll have.
That'd be nice.
Some of the things I've heard, now this is just things I've heard, and there's one theory that I personally have. some of the things I heard was that in this version, GW will give every army a super heavy kit. I don't believe that's true.
Probably not.
A lot of people believe that some of the models that were given entries but never given models, like the Colossus and the Manticore, will finally get models. One theory that I have is, one person I was reading on Bells of Lost Souls, they noted something very interesting. In 6th edition, the 13th Black Crusade hasn't happened yet. It's about to happen. And I'm thinking that might be what Apocalypse's theme is going to be, is Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade.
I don't know about that. I mean, with the whole 13th Black Crusade timeline thing, because it's so hazy.
If you read in the Chaos Codex, the last timeline entry is Abaddon preparing for the 13th Black Crusade.
Right, but
in the Eldar Codex, their last entry, which is also on the cusp of the 42nd millennia, also states the same thing, that the forces of chaos are about to release themselves from the Eye of Terror.
Here's the deal with the Black Crusades, and the same thing with the Third War for Armageddon. The Third War for Armageddon technically has never ended. So it's been going on forever. Basically, after Gaskell has left the building, but the party's still going on. And with the 13th Black Crusade, yeah, the timeline stuff ends with the recent event. And the whole thing with the 13th Black Crusade is that it's such a big Black Crusade that's, from when you read the 13th Black Crusade book, it's present. It's not like it hasn't happened. It's happening. It's not it's been happening. So there's no end for it yet. It's just that it's happening, but the eye of the storm hasn't shown up yet, basically. The actual big, bad stuff that's going to happen in the 13th Black Crusade isn't here yet, which is why they had a book for it, and from 4th edition. So the 13th Black Crusade is basically where GW said, we're going to stop the timeline here, basically for or at least easily enough stop it here, but it's not like it hasn't happened. It's happening. It's already started. This is just where, those timeline things are pre what's going on in the now, basically. So
okay,
that's the way that's that. But it still will be it's a great setting to have the Apocalypse come out with, because everybody's fighting everything everywhere in the 13th Black Crusade. I do think the theory for the super heavies for everybody holds weight, and I think it holds weight because we've only had super heavies for the Imperium thus far from GW, and I just think they will. I don't know how often it will happen, especially considering we've seen the plastic stuff that's been coming out with Tau and Eldar now. I think we'll see a super heavy thing for them. It may be something completely new because they don't want to undercut Forge World sales, but it won't happen.
Well, I would be very hoping that they do it, but I am not holding my breath because there have been a lot of things where we were supposedly getting stuff and we never did.
Well, the only thing that we were supposed to get was a plastic Thunderhawk for the last 15 years, and that's never going to happen.
Surprisingly, everyone has, at least in the latest Apocalypse thing off of Bell of Lost Souls, everyone stopped screaming for a plastic Thunderhawk and are now asking for a plastic Thunderbolt.
Yeah. But I mean, that's always gonna be the big thing. Whenever they show a picture of a Thunderhawk, it's gonna be that's the plastic one, but it's always never the plastic one, or it's like a studio special thing. So I do think we'll get it, especially because we're seeing these bigger plastic kits now, blatantly bigger. Like we had the Baneblade that came out and the Hexblade thingamabob, but they can make those variants, which is a big kit. But now we're seeing bigger, more intricate things, bigger things that would make more sense with the detail for certain armies, like the fluidity of the Eldar and the way their stuff is. They clearly can do that now in plastic pretty easily for being it big. For the Tau, aside from the Manta and some of their flyers, don't really have super heavies. That's kind of their
and the Riptide. The Riptide's like the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's not super heavy.
But I'm just saying that's the biggest thing they have.
So the Tau probably won't, if any race probably won't get something, it probably won't be the Tau and it probably won't be the Tyranids, because the Tyranids have that covered in Forge World, and I'm pretty sure they want to undercut that. And the Tau, they're not going to make a plastic Manta.
Yeah, well, they could make some kind of thing between a Manta and the Tiger Shark, maybe.
The Tiger Shark is huge.
Yeah, I know, but the Manta's too big, and they need to find something practical at some point. Well, I love the Manta, but you can't game with things.
They just need to give us plastic orcas, and everybody will be happy.
Yes, I would kill for a plastic orca. That'd be cool.
I know a couple of people who love plastic orcas. I wouldn't mind I don't think I probably would prefer with my Eldar a plastic flyer over a plastic tank, because, like you said, Forge World's got the plastic tank. They got the super tanks for Eldar down packed, practically. There's one or two in the concept drawings in the Codex that look pretty cool, but I think some of their flyers, getting a new type of flyer would be cooler.
I see. They gave you a new flyer with this Codex.
No, I mean a super flyer.
A super heavy flyer would be interesting for Eldar, but I'd rather see them either just beef up your Wraith thing to make it an actual knight. Like make it like make one the proper knight.
That's the thing is with the Wraith Knight, I don't think they would give us a Super Walker, because I think they're going to give us something different.
I think they would. I think if anything, they might go Centaur on us and finally give us the Centaur walk.
The Stampede?
That thing would be awesome. And that thing
would be hilariously
enough to
awesome.
be considered a super heavy. But I don't know. I do think that there is some water or some truth to a super heavy super heavy / gargantuan creature for everything. Even if it's something brand new on the table. And for those of us that might not get something, aka Imperial Guards, because they already have.
Or Tyranids. Tyranids don't get much.
Well, the Imperial Guard already have their super heavy stuff here, so they don't really need anything new. The Tyranids would have to develop a new gargantuan creature, which wouldn't be that hard. They just take the Tervigon thing. Or they take the Trigon and make it bigger, and you got what you need. Because the Trigon used to be a gargantuan creature.
He used to be an apocalypse monster.
So they may get something. Orcs is easy enough. You just take all of your random bits, you glue it onto a ball with legs, and you got it. And they already got their Warwalker. So
speaking of that, how's that? You ever pop open that Stompomat?
He's dead.
Matt's gone.
He's dead.
What happened?
Have you ever had a chance to pop open that Stompa?
Yeah, I started working on it. I just never finished it.
Ooh,
that's cool.
Interesting.
He'll never finish it.
I will one day. You know, right now.
There's no rush. I was just curious.
Right now, I'm playing Animal Crossing. You know.
Are you serious?
Animal Crossing.
You degenerated into Animal Crossing?
You know, listen. My girlfriend's in Haiti right now. I don't have a lot to do.
But Animal Crossing, really?
I finished The Last of Us, which was really solid, by the way. I don't know.
I hear nothing but good things.
Yeah, no, I saw the ending with Matt. It was pretty cool.
It's the best game I've played since Red Dead Redemption.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Last of Us
I'm willing to put it in the same. It was the best zombie game I've ever played. It's probably the best zombie game I will ever play. I'm actually willing to go as far as to say that.
That's because they did an awesome new concept that now will only be copied if anybody tries.
So in essence, now at least for you or any of you guys who have played it, this is the game that all other zombie games would be held in comparison to.
Yes, but I also don't want other games to try and mimic it because they're just going to not do it as well.
Yeah. The thing that makes it good is that it's a character-driven game, and that's why you make a good zombie movies. It's about
right.
Yeah.
It's not really about the zombies. The zombies are just sort of why the world is the way it is.
Exactly. It's very much. I've watched some gameplay footage from the very beginning, and it's because I have no real plans on getting it yet because I have no real way of playing it yet. But it looks very good. It's character driven. It's basically I like it for the same reason that I like the Left 4 Dead series. But even though they do it in two completely different ways, it's just even with Left 4 Dead, you kind of get, especially the first one. Left 4 Dead 2 was fun, but you don't get much of a character feel like Bill and Left 4 Dead.
I love Bill. Left 4 Dead 2 tried to give you more storyline than character.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2, I like the story that they built for Left 4 Dead, which is interesting. Last of Us is so character-driven and so not like Left 4 Dead that they're almost, I don't want to say they're mirrors of each other because they're not, but they're really on both ends of the spectrum. Left 4 Dead did it very well that way, and everybody tries to copy that. And then Last of Us did it really well in the other way, which is kind of I want to say basically Walking Dead style. This is what makes the world like it is, and these guys are just living in it.
Yeah, in a sense, the zombies aren't the villain, it's the people in the environment because of the zombies.
Right. Yeah, I mean, granted, the zombies are also a villain.
Yeah, but they're not the main villain.
I think that zombies are villains. Zombies are just thugs in the way.
The thing is, they've gone from being anything you could personify into being almost like a walking natural disaster.
Right.
You know, like they're an environmental hazard. They're like lions. Really angry lions.
Okay, Stark-Lord, the cheese thing was funny. Thanks.
I will say that while I was playing The Last of Us, I have a really funny story. My dad, unfortunately, my Nana's, I don't know if she's still in the hospital. She was in the hospital at the time. Nothing major. But my dad went to visit her, and apparently when he went, there was literally nobody in the emergency room. Like, there were no patients. There were no triage nurses. There was no security staff. It was literally a ghost town. Like, not a single human being. And he was telling me this, and I was like, I'd been playing, I'd just started The Last of Us, and I was like, I would have run. I would have turned on my heel and run for the car, because something is desperately wrong.
Speaking of The Last of Us,
mm-hmm.
I just saw World War Z. Now, it's nothing like the book is. It's not even. I don't want to say I don't recommend it, but they at least their zombies were awful. I'll put you that way because they were awful.
So that
isn't like the book supposed to be after the zombie apocalypse?
No, the book is documentary style, where the guy basically the way I haven't read it through, but my friend was describing it to me because I don't have the book anymore. That it basically is an interview process. You get recounts of what it was like when stuff went down.
It's
during,
after the outbreak.
Yeah, but it's like the story is basically like different accounts of people surviving through it, and then the aftermath of it. And this is kind of going on a similar style, but you basically just copy the name and that's it. But they kind of trying to keep that kind of feel to it. If they do well enough, there will be a sequel, because every movie's set up for a sequel these days. But
because no one's original.
Their zombies, look-wise and acting-wise, were kind of dumb. But I do kind of like their little how we're going to deal with them thing. It's kind of cool. I just wish they locked it down a bit better. Like, it was it left holes for you to ask questions. Well, what about this and this? But the way they did it was kind of cool, at the very least. So
at the very least, at least it wasn't the Resident Evil series.
The Resident Evil series is awesome because that's based on a game, which really, when you look at it, is balls to the wall crazy. If you haven't played Resident Evil,
but if you watch the movies, they're so full of plot holes and things change between each film that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's because it's based on the games, which are still full of plot holes and things have changed because 6 was never supposed to happen. But I love the Resident Evil movie series for the fact that they went, let's just go over the top with this, because that's what Resident Evil did. It went crazy after, 2. It went absolutely insane after 2. This one is more like trying to be grounded in reality, unlike Resident Evil, and it's just leaving some serious holes open in certain things, but the actual concept that they're going for is actually kind of neat. It's worth a watch if you feel like I'm definitely a matinee watch. I saw it in 3D because that was the time that was available for me to see it. The most 3D that what it was the please put on your 3D glasses sign. That was the most 3D you got out of it. So, I mean, it's not worth watching in 3D.
A lot of things nowadays have not been worth watching in 3D. The last film I saw that was worth watching in 3D was G.I. Joe and Dredd.
Those were both good.
And they were amazing in 3D.
Dredd was amazing in 3D, because Dredd, even if you sit down and watch the audio commentary and they really talk about how they did their 3D, they just refused all the rules about doing 3D properly. They're like, instead of showing big landscape stuff, we're going to do close-up of people's faces. Put them, directly in over half the film, so you can see the curvature of their face, and their face marks, and the pores in 3D. That's what we're going to do. And then slow-mo in 3D is just great. I mean...
Oh, that fall.
That was
that fall.
3D and slow motion work really well together. The problem with a lot of movies, if they do action scenes, they do the action really fast, and fast action in 3D doesn't usually look good, because you can't see everything.
Or they pause the movie.
Yeah.
Like, they tend to pause the movie, and you're like, okay, who's got the remote?
Yeah, but I mean, it has to be a good production a high quality production do fast 3D. Like I've seen fast 3D done very well.
It can be, but it's a lot tougher.
It's tougher if you do because you have to invest more time and therefore more money into it. And some of those productions, and I'm going to say it, Dread, probably didn't have quite the budget as the big ones that can do it very well. So it's just you improvise, which is the best way. Improvising it really is what gives you some of the best looking effects in movies. When you get to improvise, when you give them too much money is when you start getting stuff that just looks lame. When they improvise, it looks awesome.
Like, I mean, there's some crazy stuff where it's just like, you know, you never would have thought of doing it that way.
I mean, you all saw Alien, you know, the first Alien. That was a garbage bag. We were terrified of a garbage bag.
It was.
True story.
Garbage bag and a cheap puppet head.
Yeah, and we were terrified of that garbage bag.
Jaws, we only see the shark, what, twice?
Because the thing kept breaking on them.
But also, a good horror movie
shouldn't
have to show you the monster.
no.
I think it should eventually.
Yeah, it's the threat. It's the threat of the monster. If you show the monster too soon, then the threat is gone, and then it's not that scary anymore.
Right. But if you never show it at all, it's dissatisfying.
Oh yeah. But I'm always a big fan of the never showing until the end.
The thing with Jaws, though, is that when you ask people, especially of around the time we saw it, and like our generation, people who've seen it, a lot of people they don't say that movie made me afraid of sharks. They say that movie made me afraid of the ocean, and that's when you know it did it right. Yeah, because it's not the shark they're afraid of. They're afraid of water now.
Well, like,
and I want to say that I am one of those people.
That's why the tag for Jaws 2 was just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
Go back in the water.
Exactly.
Like, it's not just that sharks are scary, it's that everything in the ocean is scary. Which is a fact. Have you ever looked at pictures of things that live in the ocean? They're scary.
I scuba dive. I've been in their environment face to face.
Why would you do that?
Because it's awesome. It's like visiting an alien planet. It really is. You don't have to take. You just basically, it's like going to a whole new world where everything is just kind of strange and it's really weird, and they all look at you like you're crazy.
And on that note, we are out of time.
Oh.
All right. Well. Until next time, Fearless Gamers. I guess leave us some comments or questions if you have any. Maybe it's a topic for next time. But until next time, I would like you all to take care.
Peace.
Don't die.